Welcome to Keith Knight, Don't Tread on Anyone. Here are 3 analogies from the book Political Philosophy, an introduction by Jason Brennen, professor at Georgetown University. He starts the book off by talking about someone named Virtuous Vanny. Vanny, very worried about people's well-being, goes around to stores and says, if you sell cups that you allow people to fill with soda that are much larger than X amount of ounces, I will have you put in a cage if you sell them to willing customers. And if you resist the caging, I will shoot you, because that's how much I care about people's safety. Second analogy, principled Peter goes around taking money by force. He engages in bank fraud. He will go up to someone and say, give me 10% of whatever you have on you. He'll go up to people and say, every time you make an exchange, I get 10% or I'll cage you. But after further looking into the situation, the money Peter gives, a portion of it goes to charity and another portion goes to stimulate the economy. The next example is Decent Danny. Danny is very worried about his in-group. Sometimes it's his race, and he wants to do what's best for the race. Sometimes it's his gender. He wants to do what's best for the male gender. Other time, he wants to do what's best for his age group. And he'll say things like, anyone who makes trades with someone outside of my in-group, anyone who makes trades with a different race has to give me 10%. Anyone who trades with people in a different geographical area has to give me 10% of the cut. And if I find out you're not giving me 10%, I will have you put in a cage. And if you resist the caging, I will have my employees shoot you for the greater good. Now, what do all these analogies have in common? They all represent what government actually does. So Jason Brennen asked the question, in general, governments claim the right to do things ordinary people may not do. What, if anything, justifies that? What justifies this moral standard? So in the first example, we have something that is analogous to the FDA or the law or the Big Gulp law that Michael Bloomberg implemented. If you make an exchange with someone and put something in your body that we, the FDA group, doesn't approve of, we will have you caged and shot if you resist. If it doesn't have our stamp of approval, you can't do it. Imagine that. Anyone who reads books or consumes things that the Koch brothers say is bad for you, well, you're going to go to Koch brothers jail. Well, we'd see them as a couple of psychopathic tyrants trying to violently dominate us. So why is it different when the FDA does it? When the IRS takes a portion of our income and says, well, it's on behalf of the greater good, it stimulates the economy, social safety net. Why, if it's like this good thing that's just inherently good, why does government get a monopoly on doing it? Everyone should have the right to tax everyone and just initiate taxes because it's such a good thing. Walmart should be able to tax people for all the jobs they've created and all the products they've made readily available to people in lower income groups. Same with Amazon. Chinese tariffs. So in this case, if you purchase a Ford, well, that's okay because it's in this geographical area. But if you purchase a Toyota, that came from a different geographical area, a different nation. So what if the person who you purchased it from or the party you purchased it from is further away geographically and they're not in your in-group or whatever the ruling class is telling you your in-group is? That doesn't justify saying anyone who doesn't trade with my in-group has to give me X amount or I get to cage both parties. So we ask the question, in general, governments claim the right to do things ordinary people may not do. What, if anything, justifies that? Thank you for watching Keith Knight, Don't Tread on Anyone.